Welcome to Pyrion Flax's Gander at Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor is an action game with sandbox and RPG elements. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Arkham Asylum, but Assassin's Creed as well. It's fantastic fun. The combat is really fluid. There's loads of beautiful animations. You never feel like your character isn't doing what you tell him. You see that little right mouse button indicator? That's the point at which you have to block the attack. Or in this case, grab him around the throat and interrogate him. Because this is one of the most impressive and, for my money, innovative parts of the game, the command structure of the Urukai. As you capture orcs and interrogate them, they tell you who their leader is, who their sergeants are. You kill them in sequence and work your way up to the big dogs at the back there. And then, of course, you run them through. Gotta be heading off! No mercy for orcs. Anyway, you run around, sort of parkour style, Assassin's Creed again. Lots of references to that. The cloak, the hood, the climbing. But for my money, it's way, way better. That ragdoll effect can fuck off, though. That was terrible. You're immune to falling damage, so you really feel like you're sort of Spider-Man-ing around the environment. Not to mention sliding down ropes. I'm not sure what other parts of the environment you can interact with, but you can definitely hide in bushes if such is your want. You can leap off stuff, surprise the hell out of orcs. But if you think that's the only surprise in the game, all of a sudden...
I thought we'd driven the last of the Tark scum out of Udu.
They always give you a bit of shit talking, and then they kick your ass. These are the captains. These guys are hard as balls. They are way harder than normal orcs. They've got things they're immune to. They've got special attacks. And the problem is you're so busy fending them off that the regular orcs become a real issue. So just when you're dealing with El Boss Man, or charging up your attacks so that you get your shiny blue sword so you can finish him off. Finish him off. Execution style. Gah! You think, I'm on top of the world, Ma. Watch this. I've got the boss on the back foot, just thinking about wellying him, and then boom. In comes his friend. Quick time event. I fucked up. And I died. Now, oh, I just died. I'll respawn in a minute. Who cares, right? Wrong! Because Ogbur now becomes a hero. He becomes one of the captains. He takes a spot, gets promoted. So now I'll get the chance to gain revenge on Ogbur, which is really, really cool. When you die, you respawn on one of these Wraith Towers. You unlock them over the map as you explore it. The Wraith sort of partner in crime that you've got with you, who we'll come to in a minute, you sort of become him when you're on the towers, and then that's why when you land, you become normal again. Anyway, you level up your hero with all kinds of unlockable skills to make you more healthy or hit harder. You can level up all your weapons as well, your dagger, your sword, your bow. But most importantly, over the course of the game so far, I've found, is gathering information. The guys with the green sort of sigil over their head are called worms, and you can get extra information by interrogating these dudes. So now when I go to face Skun the Map Keeper, I know what he doesn't like. He's vulnerable to ranged attacks. He's clumsy, and he's vulnerable to mounted beasts. That gives me a plan of attack. Of course, I normally just ignore the plan of attack, charge into a dozen orcs, and this is where I just can't resist this game. Even though I'm probably going to die, it's too much fun. Yeah! I mean, who couldn't enjoy this? Parrying attacks, every time you see that mouse cursor, I have to hit the right mouse button to parry it. Sets them up for a little counter attack. And as you charge up your attacks, you become more and more powerful. And you get all kinds of spells as well. You can do one where you do a flurry of attacks. I mean, what the hell was that? That was awesome. The combat is as much about flow as it is about timing. You've got to build up your sequences of attacks to gain more damage and finishing moves. So every time you take a hit, you lose that. Uh-oh, who's this? It's Gollum, yeah. One of the cutscenes, quite early on, you bump into Gollum. I don't know if there'll be other characters from Lord of the Rings in here. There's this guy. He's like one of the ring wraiths, but friendly. He talks a load of crap, but he's cool.
There, it's on the run.
The Golem is voiced by Andy Serkis, by the way, so it feels more legit.
He will remember Precious. We will make him.
That adds a level of authenticity that I'm really, really pleased with. A lot of the Lord of the Rings games felt like cash-ins, or just kind of like just using the name and it could have been anything. This completely feels like you're in the Lord of the Rings world, albeit with some deviation from the canon material, I guess. I just love the combat. The flow of it is so much fun. It never feels repetitive. It always feels challenging for me, and I'm only playing, I guess, on the normal difficulty. I mean, this is the beginning of the game. This is like the starting area, and I already feel like a complete badass. The gore is amazing, and chopping off heads, snapping necks. I just can't imagine it ever getting old. It's too much fun. The stuff that you can unlock all seems cool. I didn't show you any of the ranged weapons, I didn't show you any of the mounts, I didn't show you any of the monsters. There are so many other things. There's collectible stuff, there's areas to explore, there's secret quests and side missions. All of that stuff that you'll discover when you play the game yourself if you decide to. I honestly could not recommend this game more highly. I've only played it for about 4 or 5 hours this morning, but all I can think about is playing more. I played it at EGX London for about 5 minutes, and I knew I was going to get hooked. In summary, I can't give this game anything less than 10 out of 10. I love it. I don't know what the rest of the game's going to be like, obviously, but so far, I just can't imagine that it's going to be disappointing. So, yeah, this isn't the complete review, I guess. Maybe when I've finished the game, I'll do a guide to it. But if you buy this game and you're disappointed, I pity you. You're scum. Goodbye. 10 out of 10.